Hey, what's up everybody? This is Justin from S&R Logistics, JB Inc. I'm coming to you today with another video. I've been hearing a lot of people ask about how can they prevent, unnecessary costs when it comes to their trucks. I want to tell everybody, especially the carriers and the owners of these equipments, you need to know what your trucks is doing and what your trucks is looking like. So when these trucks are coming in off the road, I know you guys got great drivers and they're telling you things, but also cover your tail. So this is called preventative maintenance, and this is what we do when these trucks come in. So I had the drivers drop the truck off. They just pull them up. All the trucks that have been on the road for a long period of time, bring the trucks to the front of the yard. Drop the trailer back there, park your trucks here, because when the weekend comes in, I'm coming through and I'm checking on the equipment. So what we do, we just do it overall. Y'all can walk down here with me. So we got a truck right here with the hood up. So the first thing I do with these trucks is I make sure these trucks look the same way they look when I sent them out. So I pop this hood. When I pop this hood, I'm gonna take a look at this motor. That's the first thing I do. I love my motors. So when I look at this motor, I'm gonna check everything for any leaks, any oil spots, any grease spots, anything. If I see anything that's gonna catch my eye that I need to go ahead and put some more attention to that. As I'm looking, and as my motor looks great, I find me a rhythm, I find me a technique. I know what I need to look for, I know what I wanna look for, because guess what? The maintenance cost scares me. So as an owner, I'm gonna go ahead and start with my radiator, my coolant. I'm gonna make sure my coolant is leveled off just the way it needs to be. Not too full, but just at the right line. As I'm coming down, I'm checking all my lines, checking all my clamps. I'm making sure my lines, my clamps, everything is intact. I'm making sure I see no rips. I'm making sure I see no leaks. Following on my way down, I'm coming through, checking my fan belts. I'm making sure everything is intact. I'm checking, making sure I got enough tension. I'm making sure nothing is free play. As I'm coming around, I'm constantly checking my hoses, because these cost you a lot of downtime on the road. I'm making sure all my hoses is in good positions. I'm making sure I don't see no hoses, no shards, no leaks, no rips. As I'm coming down, again, don't forget your clamps. These are the easiest things you can mess up on and miss while you're bringing these trucks in off the road. So because all of these trucks run off air pressure. So understand how essential these clamps and these hoses is to making your truck run at its best condition. As I'm coming down, I'm working, I'm looking at my drive shaft and make sure everything is greased, everything is lubed down just the way it needs to be. I'm checking my leaf spring, I'm checking my U-bolt. I'm coming all the way down, I'm looking at my suspension. I'm getting up under this truck. I'm making sure this truck has no dents, no cracks up under here. I'm also greasing this truck down, my cotter pins. Anything that I can get a grease gun on under this truck, I'm gonna grease it down, because that's what we call preventative maintenance. It's gonna keep my unit performing and oiled up at its best potential. So as I'm coming through, I'm going up under here and I'm checking my brake pads on my stairs. I'm starting from under and I'm coming out. So as I go under here, I'm checking my brake pads, checking my cotter pins. I'm checking and making sure this driver didn't run up under nothing, ain't pop no lines up under here. I'm making sure that everything is accurate for FMCSA. So if this truck goes through a DOT, we can pass our inspection. As I'm coming through, I'm making sure I check my stairs. A lot of people got their ideas of where their stairs want to be. I'm not going to talk to anybody about what their preference is. So these are 110, baby. I got to make sure my tire gauge is at 110. When I'm walking through and I put my hands over my tires, I'm feeling for lumps. Why? Because I want to make sure my tread depth is accurate. Because if I got bad stairs, it's going to knock off my suspension. It's going to knock off a lot. It's going to scare me and my driver for when he's driving. Put money into your tires. As I'm coming down, the overall, I'm checking out my hub oil seals. When I'm looking at these hub oil seals, I'm making sure I feel no leaks. If I want to get real technical with it, because I know this truck has been out for a while, I'm just going to top it off with some gear oil. These are what we do to cut our costs down on the road and keep our time, because guess what? Time is money. So as I'm coming through, I'm going to do one more overall look. As I come up here, I check my lines, my hoses one more time, because that's just me. I'm proactive. I just got to make sure I know what I know. So once that is done, and I know that it's done, I'm going to head up in the cab, I'm going to crank my truck. I'm going to let the air pressure build up. When my air pressure builds up, I'm going to stop and listen for air leaks. I'm going to make sure I hear no air leaks. I'm going to go ahead and walk around and put my truck down, my cab down. Once I go ahead and put this hood down on this truck, and this truck is running, I'm turning my lights on. Because shortages and busted bulbs is the #1. It always happens, especially with these Volvos. Electrical issues is always a problem. So I make sure my turn signals, my hazards, I'm making sure everything from the front of the cab to the back of the cab is working. My 4 ways, left and right turn signal. I'm making sure that this driver did not do no physical damage to my tractor. I'm making sure that when I run, it's running just the way it left. So as I make sure everything is good, I check my mirrors, I check my glass, I make sure I have no dents in my windshield, making sure driver didn't mess up nothing. Everything is looking great. Now I work my way to the side. What's up, everybody? So now we're in the back of the truck, right? So now I'm in the back of the truck, and I need to do the same thing I did to the front of this truck that I did to the back. So, doing an overall inspection. A lot of these drivers, they can't turn when they got that trailer. They ding your gears, they ding your flaps. So when I'm looking, I'm doing an overall, making sure everything is just the way it left. Checking my lines, checking my glad hands. I'm making sure that everything is in a proper procedure. I'm making sure that these lines have no leaks. I'm making sure these lines have no shards. I'm making sure these lines are where they need to be. As I work my way, I make sure my fuel tank has no leaks. I even check my fuel, because if a driver running my truck below a quarter tank, we got a problem. So I'm checking my fuel. I'm making sure my fuel is good. As I work my way down, I am checking my tread depths. I am doing the same thing I did with my stairs. I am running my hand across them. I am making sure that these tires are performing under DOT guidelines. As I come down, I check, I make sure no leaks. I make sure everything looks good on my tires. As I come down, I check my brake pads. I make sure my brake pads are where they need to be legally. I make sure we have great brake pads on here, because these drivers love to ride brakes. As I continue to look, I'm checking my leaf spring, I'm checking my U-joints. Some reason, drivers love to bend U-joints. I'm telling you, they love to do it when they're picking up these trailers, especially new drivers. I'm checking everything on my frame. My frame means everything to me. As I'm coming through, I'm checking for these leaks. I'm looking at my lines. I am under this tractor because I am greasing her down. My carter pins are important to me because guess what? They fall off at any given time. I'm making sure that I'm greased. I'm making sure my brake chambers, I'm making sure I hear no leaks. I'm making sure as I'm under here, my bars are great. As I come out, as I'm finishing, I'm coming up, I'm checking my airbags. I'm making sure my airbags have no damage, no rips, no shards, no nothing. I'm making sure my airbags are in good condition. I also go a little bit above and beyond, and I look at these airbags and I make sure there's no cracks or rips, because when these drivers are out for a long period of time, or just say if you neglected your airbags for a while, you know, wear and tear happens. You know, we're carrying this weight, we're dropping suspension to get it from under these trailers. You got to know your truck. So check these little bit of things out right here, because it's going to cost you a lot, especially when you get broke down on the side of the road. Also check my mud flaps, because 9 out of 10, if a driver messes up these mud flaps, he's doing more things. So now that I notice that my mud flaps are intact or they off, I can go ahead into the store, put some new ones on, the driver can be good to go, because you know, that's a legal thing. Making sure my lights are good the same way I do, making sure my suspension bars are intact, making sure this driver took care of this truck while he was operating, being a professional driver. These are the things that we do to prevent costs. These are the things that we do to prevent time wasting. So when these trucks go in and you're an owner of the truck, bring this truck to your yard, bring this truck to a TA, bring this truck to a pilot, wherever you stop it at, and walk through and know your truck. It's essential, it's important. So after we finish the overall, like I said, I grease down. I make sure my fifth wheel is in great working condition. I make sure that I'm greased. I make sure that this fifth wheel is in operating condition and I can lock it with the trailer. So at the end of the day, y'all, you know, you check the drive shaft, you check everything on this truck. You make sure this truck is operating at its best potential. I want to give you guys another little gem. This is what I do on a daily. This is what I do on a weekly. This is what I get on the phone with my drivers, and they get on. They say I'm getting on their nerves. I need you to drain your air tanks. So let's walk over here. Let me just break down and show you what I'm talking about. So these air tanks over here. So these air tanks right over here. Wherever they at on your truck, we want to drain these air tanks. When we drain these air tanks, we want to make sure that the pressure is releasing. It's going to be water built up. It's going to be mist. We want to make sure they have a dryer in here that's connected to that transmission. We want to make sure that when we're out on this road, especially in this cold weather, that these drivers are getting up in the morning and they're gelling. I mean, not gelling, but they're draining these air tanks, because that is essential. This is what makes a transmission stop in fifth gear and we don't know what's going on. It's because that dryer, the dryer went out on us in this cold weather. So these are little things that you want to do, preventative maintenance as an owner, to keep your truck running at its best potential. So once again, guys, this is Justin, S&R Logistics, JB Inc. If you liked the video, if the video was informative, please like, share, comment. Let me know if you guys have any questions. You guys want me to run any videos down, we can definitely get into it. Thank you guys for asking me to do this for you. This is preventative maintenance. This is what an owner should do for their truck, because this is essential in productivity and saving time so your day can go as smooth as it could. So once again, I just want to say thank you guys. This is Justin from S&R Logistics, JB Inc.